Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Travel Bias, and we are in the last vlog of our series of Turkey. The previous vlog you saw, we've reached Cappadocia and we've seen the open air museum. Keep watching to know where else we went, and please like, share, and subscribe. Hey everyone, welcome to my last vlog of the series Turkey. We have reached Cappadocia and we're gonna stay in Cappadocia for 2 nights. Now, the first night we traveled all the way from Konya and we literally visited so many things in one day. So, after my last vlog, we just saw some valleys and ended up going to the city and just relaxing and having dinner and going to sleep. There was not a lot that we could have done on that day because we already did so much. But even when we entered the city and saw so much, like just the view, the scenery itself was so pretty. The entire Cappadocia is like formation of rocks. In one point of time, there were people even living in those rocks. Like those rocks were converted into home and they were living. If you see those rocks, you'll see small windows constructed there. So those were the places they used to live. A few years ago, government decided not to do that because it was hard. They couldn't even put the heater. They were not able to do the modern machineries. And because the place is so cold, it was decided by the government that it's no more feasible to live over there. So that's where they ask people to live. There are still some people who live in the rocks where it is still okay and secure to live, but not everyone. After that, we headed to the main center of the city. So that because our hotel was there, our hotel here was also beautiful. Our hotel was sort of a conversion of a cave. So the feeling when you stay in the hotel is like the same like living in the rock houses that see you see that rock that's actually in the middle of the city, but actually it's someone's house. So we our hotel is very similar to that, and we're going to be staying in that hotel. I'll show you the room as well. This was some extreme very cultural exposure that we wanted to do, and that's why we chose that hotels to stay in. One thing you should be very careful is the snow over there because they're slippery. This is a hotel, extra hotel. That's where we stayed, and this is our room. When we had reached Cappadocia, it was minus 11 and it was freezing cold. And one thing I found very interesting in these rooms were even the floor were heated, like a bathroom floor was heated. And we had this small cottages. It's not like one above the other. Do you see the way it's been constructed? So you come from there and you climb these stairs, and this is where your rooms are. It feels like an old age room where you come from, and very cave feeling. When we went to the city also, if you see the entire city, it looks like you're in old age and you are just come from an old era and you're just visiting that. So Cappadocia has this very beautiful way. The entire city is constructed in such a way that's so pretty. And that's our hotel. Um, we're gonna be just relaxing tonight and we'll explore a lot more of Cappadocia. One thing which was sad that because of such heavy snow, we couldn't do hot air balloon, which is one of the most famous thing in Cappadocia. But it is what it is. It's very safety is more important than anything else. Do you see these doors on your right and left? These all wooden doors are actually rooms. So the property is spread out in a good area space, and the rooms are spread out. And they've constructed it. Yeah, they've tried to keep the old ancient construction architecture, and they've just built on top of it. So you see the lower part is like stone, and the upper part. So they've just built on top of it just to preserve the old features and architectures of that time, just to give that feeling. today on our list is volcanic terrain. These is places where which happened after the volcanic effect on the city, and then these rock formations happen. And it's been there for a very long time, centuries and centuries, and they're formed in such a way. So it has created on its own, and it's one of the most beautiful things to see in Cappadocia. One big tip that I would like to give about Cappadocia is Cappadocia is amazing for shopping. So if you're going to Cappadocia, I would recommend to buy stuff from there because it's cheaper. You got better options, better varieties that you would get it in Istanbul. So it's up to you. If you're in Cappadocia, recommendation is buy things from them. So this train at one point of time was their society. People used to live there. Do you see that particular rock, which is right in front of me, is actually still used as a police station, like a security area. You can see the flag. Wherever there's a flag, that's a security place. And people do live there. They take the security is there. They must even have camera in there. But this is how they still reuse it. At one point of time, this was like a whole area. Then we headed to Venice Ceramic and Pottery. So they make potteries here, and pottery in Turkey
As
is
you see,
very
it's a good
famous.
exercise. One leg bigger than the other. So do you have any idea what he's going to make for you?
Pot.
Anything else?
Plate, a water jug,
A jug or wine jug? This one.
Oh, pretty.
This is a wine jug. It's from the Hittites, ancient people, from 2000 BC. I think you are driving to Ankara, probably tomorrow, maybe, or today, I don't know. You can see the original one in the museum in Ankara, Museum of Anatolian Civilizations, which is from 2000 BC. They used to put on their shoulder like this. They bent and stirred the wine. Very practical. Yeah, that's the benefit of the circle. Another technique is from the wrist like this. I like it. Kind of from down. Bless you. So this is not a single piece. He's going to make this shape in 4 pieces because entire piece is consisting of 4 different parts. First part is gonna be spout. After cutting it off, he's going to make the base and the most difficult part, circle. One by one he makes, and later on he's going to put them together. That's how they make it. I think you guess most difficult part is this center part. It's hollow inside. This is the same material which we call terracotta, red clay. Local mud. It's from the river in this town. Pure clay, we don't add anything, it's just mixed with water. As you see, he makes it look so easy because of many years practice. Over 40 years he has been doing this.
You must have a strong feet.
Yes. We have electrical wheels, but this is the most traditional way of making pottery. So this was invented from the Hittites, which was over like 4,000 years before, still in use. Under the wheel there are ball bearings. That's how it rotates.
You can see it is hollow inside the circle. Now he's going to attach the spout first. This is just for demonstration because for normal items we have to wait 3 days before putting them together because they are too soft right now. So when you put them together, scalp and the base, they bend over. That's why he has to support it with the clay underneath. Magic, magic, magician. Harry Potter. Harry Potter.
Look at this.
Wow. Wow.
Blue and white. They are putting the texture one by one, putting the dots. You can see how she is putting the little dots. Blue color is cobalt. And here we have two different material. Like we saw the terracotta and these white ones are the ceramics. So ceramic clay continue.
After designing process, third stage is coloring. These are mostly water-based colors. After coloring, like Ahmed doing that, glaze. This white layer is glaze, it's silica, it's transparent glaze. After glazing, put into fire again. So during the second fire, this clear glaze melts. It becomes transparent and shiny like this. It seals in. So colors and designs never fade, even tree of life design. It's a family tree. You can see there are small tulip flowers under the tree representing father and the mother. And these branches are the next generations. It's the life symbol, which means prosperity, long life, long generation. Also in Cappadocia,
If you wish to buy, I've already mentioned the name in there. Then we headed to our next destination, which was the Cave Museum. Now, Cave Museum, be very sure that you're fit to take this hike. It's a small hike, it's not very difficult. If you are not able to do it, you can even stop and do it. It's not very long. So we had to go up there, and there are a lot of caves where there were a lot of paintings found, and they were actually the olden times church where they used to pray. Some caves even have like a dragon god, and these things were found over there. So and even some pictures were like Mother Mary, and also there are a lot of history found in those caves where we are going and heading now. In 4th century AD, Christianity became a free religion, and these all the caves where they had paintings were the secret way of them praying. And finally, when they got the freedom, they were able to do it freely. But this is how it was symbol and it was hidden. There's some caves over here you have to pay extra to go in there. In my personal opinion, I don't think so. It's worth it because some free of them are more than enough for you to do. You can see these pictures. These are the pictures which are in the cave painted, and you actually go to see those paintings. But to be honest, you don't need to pay extra to do it. After that, we headed back, and tonight we're gonna see the Devris Sufi dance, and today we're gonna see that. So that's how they pray, and we're gonna see it today. After our evening excursion, we headed to have this most traditional food in Turkey. It's made in a pot and cooked directly in a pot, and then it's served to you. It's like a chicken stew. So this is how it looks. It was so tasty. I cannot explain. It's cooked for like few hours, and then it's served. The next day, we headed for Ankara. Now we are in actually the place where The first president's memorial was. So this is the capital of Turkey, Ankara, and this is first memorial, only memorial of the first president who actually created Turkey. They really think of him very highly and they really regard him a lot because if it wasn't him, the Turkey would have not become Turkey, is what they believe. That's his grave, but his actual grave is way beneath this point. People do come and pray or wish for him. This was very constant. Every time they changed the guard, they do a whole ceremony, and that happened right when we were there. So right next to the memorial, there is museum. It's all about him, where they're talking about him, his clothes, what he wore, how he looked, what he did for the country, how he fought for the country. He started in army and then he somehow tried to make the country a better place. So it's all about him. If you come to Turkey, this is a one must place to visit. After that, we headed to the museum, one last place to go in Ankara. This museum is a museum which holds all the treasure, everything that was found from centuries and centuries, describe a lot of thing about Turkey, which Turkey holds, and a lot of century worth of discoveries that was found in Turkey and clarifies a lot of architectural history which was there. A lot of people might think why Turkey is all about those history. It's only because look at the Turkey's map. It is literally a center part of East and West Europe to come together. This was the only land that was combining them together. And hence it holds so much history. It has so much culture, invasions and exposure that happened that it holds so much ancient history that I think I've not seen anywhere else. They even found some marriage certificates of those times in those centuries, like 13th century, 12th centuries, where it goes back till where they found such stuff where you would not believe that existed. Like even in back then, there was something called as marriage, and there was something called as marriage contract that was discovered. Those stones had the marriage contract written on it. We even saw those jewelries female would wear, or the instruments like their nails, nail cutter or nail filer. So imagine even in those BC, these things did exist. The belief of Turkey people in those century was that when someone dies in the family, they would bury them in their own backyard. So if you see how the bones were found, was found while like they're sitting. So they were actually buried there in that way in their own backyard. So that was their belief. Now this particular picture or the clay statue was a statue of a god, which they believed she was a mother statue. That was the first statue that was found that would say that they used to believe and they used to pray. After this museum visit, we headed to a hotel. That was the night of 31st, and we celebrated New Year's there. Our last hotel was Grand Mercury, and we stayed in Ankara on that day. After the night in Ankara, next day we left for Istanbul. This is where our trip almost ends. We have a last night in Istanbul and then we leave Turkey. So Ankara was the last city we visited. We are going back to Istanbul because One day in Istanbul, what we'll be doing is we'll be visiting the Grand Bazar. That was the last thing that was on our itinerary. The reason it was last is because I didn't want to carry a lot of shopping items throughout my journey. That's why that was the last thing that was kept. The journey from Ankara to Istanbul was also so beautiful because it was snowing, the area was pretty, and I was just enjoying my ride throughout. We've reached Istanbul. This is our Bosphorus Lake, and that's our Blue Mosque. We are back in Istanbul after a long journey of 14 days, and now we are heading to Grand Bazaar. Grand Bazaar itself is a huge bazaar, and before the bazaar starts, there was like a small book bazaar where a lot of books you can buy. So you just went through there. We were on gate 13, and I think 14, one of the gates. And there are like so many gates that you can't even count. So be very careful where you go from, you come out from there, so you're not confused. And this is our trip in Grand Bazaar. So one thing, suggestion to buy in Grand Bazaar, bargain a lot. Do not resist, just ask for it. The worst case scenario, they're going to say no, but you I can actually get something which they say for 100 for just like 50. And all these pottery things, all these clothes, everything you'll get in Grand Bazaar. Now because it becomes so commercial, there's so many people there, and that's why they charge you extra. So that's where your bargain skills needs to be polished. We saw almost everything there. You get lamps, you get gold, you get silver, you get pottery, you get clothes, you get leather, everything, name it and they have it. And I believe the quality was good as well. The quality was not too bad either. After that, we had a last farewell dinner in Istanbul, and that's the name of the restaurant. And then we headed to a hotel, slept, and next day we all left for our own country. This was the last day of our trip, and the whole trip was beautiful. A lot of things were different, unexpected, but I enjoyed every bit of it. A next vlog will be coming soon. We'll be talking about only the itinerary, what to do, what not to do, which part to take, what mistakes I made, what mistakes you shouldn't make. So watch my next vlog to get all that is possible to try plan your own trip. And if you did like the vlog, please like, share, and subscribe.